everyone, and welcome to your first week of coursework. We're looking at week one. You access this information by clicking on lessons to the left in Blackboard and then clicking on week one lesson folder. So in here, we're going to go ahead and learn about module one and module two, the introduction to business, the role a business plays, and then the economic environment. Let's go ahead and take a quick look. The expectation is that you come in here, you click on module one, and then you're going to go through everything that's listed here. The learning objectives, the study plan, and the videos. Now the PowerPoints are optional. You do not need to go through those if you don't want to. And sometimes you'll see two here. I like to create my own PowerPoint. So module one PowerPoint, the one on top is always the one that's given by the publisher. A lot of times I kind of like to put things into my own words, and then I'll create one for an in-person lecture. And this is the one that I would use for an in-person lecture. I've included both here. Again, they're not required. Please make sure that you click on the study plan to access your ebook, and then you go through the different modules. One last reminder about the quiz, a quiz versus an assessment. When you come in here and you go through the different pages within your study plan, you'll notice sometimes that there are quiz questions. These quiz questions within the study plan do not count toward your grade. So go ahead and take those quiz questions as many times as you want. The goal here is to help you learn. The ones that do count for your grade, you'll find those in the assignment folder, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So once you're done with all of this here, you'll move on to module two. So I do want to talk a little bit about what is included in module one. So in module one, you're going to learn about the definition of what a business is. It's anything that creates a good or a service, really for the goal to make a profit. You're also going to learn about the 4 factors of production required to sustain a business. These 4 factors are things that are needed for a business to be successful. Typically, you're thinking about natural resources, labor, capital, and then the ideas, the entrepreneurship. In addition, you're going to learn about the different functional areas of a business, meaning there are different areas within the organization like marketing or operations or management. You'll learn about those. You'll talk about external, internal stakeholders. And then last, the external forces that shape the business environment. So what does that even mean? So when you have a business, anything outside of the business's control are what's known as external forces. Some of these things can be considered the economy, the global environment, the legal or political environment. These are all things outside of the business's control, but they really need to be aware of what's going on. Now we can talk about the economy, for instance, right now. It's kind of up and down, and it's in an interesting spot. And so that's one of the things that are shaping, how a business can do. And really, it depends on the type of business that can affect, the economy can affect. Obviously, typically hospitality, retail, those are always the first industries that are hit by a bad economy. We can learn a little bit about that as well in module 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at module 2 while we're talking about the economy. So module 2 goes right into the economic environment, one of those 6 external forces. So in here, you're going to learn a little bit about the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics and what economics even means. It's really the study of how things are doing financially. We'll also look at the difference between supply and demand and what drives supply and demand. We'll learn about the different economic systems. We'll also learn about economic indices that help determine or help evaluate if an economy is doing well. For instance, you have the GDP, the unemployment rate, the CPI. The GDP is the gross domestic product, the unemployment rate, and the consumer price index. All of these statistical indices help determine or help evaluate the economy. When the GDP is high and the CPI is high and unemployment rate is low, you can typically tell that we're having a good economy at that point. And that's why you'll often hear of politicians always talking about the unemployment rate for the GDP, because that's a good sign that the economy is doing well or not. You'll also learn about the 4 stages of an economy and then how they impact business operations. Now, module 2 can be a little bit of a doozy. I will say that. There's a lot of information here, and so please don't feel too overwhelmed. Just kind of get past this week. There's a lot in economics, especially to learn the different formulas and things. If you can get through this week, you'll be well on your way to having a great semester. So hang in there. If you can get past this week, I promise you it does get a little bit better going forward. Let's go ahead and take a look at, oh, and these videos should help. I've uploaded quite a few different videos about scarcity and choice and opportunity cost. I promise you they're big words, but once you start to look at this, and I think that you'll understand that, okay, well, some of this stuff is common sense. Now to find your assignments this weekend, you can go right in here to the folder for the lessons, and it says due no later than 10/24. Now, if you've read that syllabus, you'll know my policy on late work and attendance. If you have not had a chance to read the syllabus, please do so. And here, everything in the assignments folder, these are the things that are graded. So you'll have a module assessment and a module 2 assessment, module 1 and 2 assessment, and then a written assignment as well. Please take your time and look over the directions. Everything that I'm looking for should be right here. I need 3 paragraphs. They'll go through different things, very specific on what I'm looking for. Now, this one says 3 paragraphs. I just noticed this typo, and then there's 4 paragraphs down here. Obviously, this one right here is going to supersede the assignment requirements down below because it says I need 3 paragraphs. So don't worry about the paragraphs, but go ahead and make sure that you look at this. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Also, you may recall that there are specific requirements. I need you to upload a document, for instance. I don't accept text or comment submissions. I do have an example written assignment for you. I want you to be successful. However, I'm going to let you know that, remember to put your name on the top. Spelling counts. These are all ways that you can earn the highest grade possible in the requirements and the grading rubric. Go ahead and look at that. One last thing I want to point out too is if you go over to your My Grades, you should have a rubric here as well for assignment 1. And this is the form I use to grade your written assignment. So did you upload a document? Yes or no? What's the format? Did you have your name or date on top, your spelling, and then your critical questions, and then references and citations? Because this particular assignment does need references and citations. All right, well, I hope you have a great week. Please reach out if you have any questions, and thanks for your time. I appreciate it.